Hi, this is Buttprop 7. This is my very first video on YouTube, and I don't really know how anybody starts. So maybe a bit about myself, what I want to do here, what I'm trying to accomplish, if anything. I probably have to categorize myself as atheist, although I'm not too fond of labels. I think that every label carries so much baggage along with it that it can never really capture the essence of a person. If I have to define myself a bit more, I'll say that I'm somebody who's seeking for the truth. Unfortunately, that's a phrase that's been misused more than you can imagine. I've had many Christian friends tell me that they are seeking for the truth, although I found that they cannot accept the truth, only their version thereof. Now in my time here, I'd like to have dialogue with Christians, Muslims, whoever, anybody who wants to ask questions and is interested in finding real answers. I've spent many years searching. I was a born-again Christian. I can recall the day, even the minute, and the year exactly. I'm sure I've got it written down somewhere. But it was the 19th of June 1992 when I became born again and did what Christians would consider the act of surrendering to Jesus. And I was a very zealous Christian. I did a lot of good things, I think, as a Christian. At my school, I was in my final year, and my friends were not particularly, they were not religious at all, and most the religious people in the school definitely looked at them as pretty evil. Really, we all listened to heavy metal music and Iron Maiden and AC/DC and Nirvana and the likes. So they at first looked at me with quite a bit of suspicion, but I wouldn't be stopped by that, and I persevered and soon became a leader, leading many of my friends also to accept Jesus at that time. This was now in 1992. I then decided to give the next year of my life to God in the way that I joined my local church, and they had a program where you would do outreaches. You'd stay in a communal house. I was part of a charismatic church, one of the biggest in my country, and I did that for a year, and I started to study theology, and that's where the problem started. I always had questions, but you know, when you have a question, you don't necessarily go out of your way, because you know, you never have enough confidence in your own ability. You always think that I might not know the answer, but I'm sure my pastor does, or you know, the answer is out there. You know, it's just not obvious to me. But when you start asking the wrong questions repeatedly, you would find that people start getting annoyed with you. They actually want to attack you, just because every time they give you the same answer, that you must just have faith, and faith is a bridge, and you know, and we are not meant to know everything right now, and God has a plan, and you know, all the normal answers that you might get. And a time came when that wasn't good enough. And I started looking at other things. This was not a process that I can say happened in a few months or a year or two. I continued to be a Christian. I stopped studying theology after the first year, got a job like any other person, but I was very involved. I was in a cell. I had lots of Christian friends. We'd do a lot of things together, and it was great. But those nagging questions, they just wouldn't go away. And I kept on searching, trying to make some sense of it all. And at that time we had, lots of spiritual people, coming in our country and teaching people new things about, how to hear the voice of God and how to journal and, lots of new, very, very spiritual things. And all of those things never really made sense to me. But nevertheless, I did try them. But in the back of my mind, I could never really believe in it. But still, I definitely did try. And I continued in my faith, talking to God, pleading with Him, asking Him to lead me and to show me things, but some questions just would not go away, until I got to a point where I had to make a decision. And I went to my cell leader. I was the assistant cell leader at that time, and we had a long discussion, a few hours actually. And after that, I resigned and I left it all. This was probably after I was born again Christian for about, 8 years or so. You must remember that at that time, I definitely did believe everything. I was 100% a believer, and I had some doubts, but it didn't stop me. People knew that I was a Christian. People knew that I was born again. I only listened to Christian music. I led many people to Jesus, prayed with him, gave out tracts, went door to door. I did the whole 9 yards.